You know, as we watch the Capitol attacks, and now we're watching the impeachment trial for President Trump, they're ODing on this Officer Eugene Goodman thing, and I get it. Officer Eugene Goodman, he served our country overseas, so I can sit here and make YouTube videos without worrying about us being attacked. So I always love our servicemen, and I respect them, and I have a great respect for police officers. I've known several police officers personally. And this brother, he's to be commended for his service. It's just that this whole thing, he saved their lives. Like, how many of y'all hit one if during the impeachment trial and during all this, they keep talking about they were going to kill all the congressmen? Did you see how many police were there? They were going to kill all the congressmen. This whole notion that every congressman in there and every congresswoman in there was in mortal danger, and it was guaranteed that they was going to die if Eugene Goodman didn't save the day. Like, it was death or Eugene Goodman, and that was the only thing that was going to happen. But the white lady who tried to come in there, they shot her. The white lady, Ashley Babel was her name. Ashley, you can't even remember her name. If she was a sister, they didn't make us say her name, so I barely can remember her name. Ashley something. When she did try to get in there with the congressmen and the senators were, somebody pulled out a gun and shot her down like a dog. So these two narratives ain't jiving. Everybody was going to die. If Goodman didn't save him. A white woman tried to break down the door to where the senators were. Somebody shot her down like a dog. Which one, man? Which one? Okay, and look, man. Look. I get it, man. He could have shot these people too. You see that gun on his hip? He was a very nice man. He didn't want to shoot nobody. Because if he would have shot one of them, they all would have went running. But he did. And black officers shoot white guys all the time, man. They do. They shoot them all the time, man. All the time. They shoot white dudes all the time. You just never hear about it. And I'll let you figure out why you never hear about the white dudes that get shot by, and even sometimes unarmed white guys get shot by black cops. I'll let you figure out why you never hear about it. I know you know why it happens, because of stuff like this. Because white dudes be wilding out on the cops just like black dudes do. It's just that you got more interactions in the black communities. That's the only difference. More interactions in the black communities. The cops are like in the black communities because somebody got killed last night. Somebody got smoked last night in the black community. And there was 3 shootings. 4 people been killed on that block in a month. It's 20 guys standing on the corner selling drugs and 50 junkies milling around. The gang fight down at the rec center. Somebody got shot at the strip. Like so it's more cops in the black areas, but the white boys they flex on the cops too. You can see it right here, and they get shot. Okay, black cops don't be playing. But this guy, he was very nice, man. He didn't shoot nobody. Salute to him. I give him more credit for his niceness. But a guy on YouTube would pose this question, like, was he just shook or was he brave? Are we giving this guy too much credit? Was he shook or was he brave? Because it seemed like he don't want to draw his firearm and look at these. Watch when these other, like when these guys show up, it's like, oh nah, it's over with. When these other cops showed up, they like, man, chill out. We about to draw your ass. And they trying to create this narrative that he was. They're creating this narrative that he was drawing the soldier. He was drawing the terrorists, the attackers away from the player. I looked like he was just running. Looked like, I don't know. Maybe that's something they created after the fact to try to, because they need a hero. We need a hero. Americans, we always need a hero. I need a hero. You know what I'm saying? We always need a hero. And this guy was Johnny on the spot. He was the guy there. He was Johnny on the spot. And they tried to make it a racist thing. They couldn't find no tape of anybody yelling any racial slurs. The story would, if one of these guys would have said bigger or figure, or you think cause you're bigger than me, they'd have said, oh, he said nigger. But none of these white people yelled any racial slurs. They didn't call him a moon cricket, a darky, or nothing. So they couldn't have that story, so they went with the hero story. He was drawing them away. It looked like he was getting chased, man. Until the backup came. The backup came, and they all got their hands on their pistols, and then the crowd said, oh shit. The white girl just got smoked downstairs. Chill out. They smoking people up here. They shooting people up here. They shooting white women up in here. Chill out. They killed a white woman. Point blank range. Chill out. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think this guy, he came down the steps and said, oh snap. Seen all them? He was like, man, he didn't want to have to shoot nobody. He's a good man. I believe that he's a good man. I believe it. He's a good man. He didn't want to have to shoot nobody. And you know, he getting chased. He let this guy chase him. I wouldn't have, man, I don't know. I wouldn't have let this guy chase me. If I would have drew my weapon right there. I'd have drew my service pistol. And I don't want to hear nothing. If you get in my comment section, you talk about a black cop can't shoot a white man. Man, I get that. How like this ain't 1864. You niggas with you white liberals with this 1864 shit. Black cops shoot white people all of the time. Because white people be doing stuff like this. And just because white people don't protest in the streets, or it ain't a 2-week news story, 24 hours a day on every mainstream news media, don't use that as your evidence that it doesn't happen. Google it and see all the stories that come up. But yeah, I don't want to bang on this brother. This brother he looked like a good man. He looked like he was trying, like, man, he ain't even want to hit him with the stick. He didn't even want he was just trying to be, he was just, and I don't know if he was leading them away. It looked like I don't know if he was leading them away. I don't know, man. It just looked like that's a concocted story to make it seem like we needed a hero, man, for that thing that happened, that 1 hour. You know, this only lasted an hour, and you know it was isolated at the Capitol, and you know they had 1,000 cops down there. So like, you know, once they got too far, once they started getting too far, the cops was like, all right, chill out. The white girl kept going, she got shot, and I was in smoke. And this whole notion that the dude with the big, like the big costume on, the big moose costume, he was going to be president. These people was going to take over the White House, take over the Capitol. They was going to take over the whole government, kill all the congressmen, take over the whole government, and that was just going to be it. All you got to do to take over the government is take over the Capitol police officers that's on duty at the Capitol that day, and you can take over the whole government. They were just gonna go in there and kill all the congressmen, with beat them to death and stab them to death because nobody had a gun. It wasn't nan gun down. These protesters ain't have nan gun. I'm talking about nan gun. Ain't nobody. None of these protesters even had a slingshot. None of these protesters even had a slingshot, a stun gun, a taser, nothing. They were just down there with sticks and sides. They was going to overtake the government, going to kill all the congressmen one by one, all, 100 senators and like 360 congressmen. They was going to kill all of them. Then they was going to take over the whole government, and it was going to be breaking news. And they was going to take over the news station. They was going to, like, remember on Star Trek when the villain be on the screen? It's going to just be on the screen. The dude's going to be on the screen. I'm your new president. I'm calling for martial law. And then we take it over. Like, come on, man. This whole notion that they was going to take over the government, nobody's pushing back against that whatsoever. Nobody. It's frustrating that nobody ever pushes back against that. They was just going to take over the entire government. An hour. This whole thing lasted 1 hour. And the mayor of D.C., she called a curfew just to try to hype it up. People in D.C. ain't know nothing about this. Unless you're down, because you got to know D.C. where the capital is. Like, it's not a residential area. Capital's not in a residential area. It's down, like, in an area where you got Union Station on one side, you got the Library of Congress on the other side, then you got the monuments, the mall with the Smithsonian on all that on the other side. Then you got like hotels and everything down there. It's not a residential area. Nobody in D.C. knew this was going on until she called a curfew. Nobody knew this was going on. Wasn't nobody scared of nothing. Nobody. These people that was here would never come in the neighborhood in D.C. I promise you. These people would have never come in no D.C. neighborhood messing with nobody. These 40 and 50-year-old white people, which is most of the people there were in their 40s and 50s, from out of town, they ain't never coming in no neighborhood in D.C. It's too rough, man. It just is simple as that, man. So there was no threat outside of the Capitol. And they didn't want to do anything outside of the Capitol. That's all they wanted to go. Trump wasn't telling them to go nowhere else. The only place they wanted to go was the Capitol. She shut down the city, put everybody on curfew. That shit was totally unnecessary. But, man, get in the comment section. Tell me what you think. You think this guy's a hero? You think that this is all some concocted BS? I don't want to bang on the brother too bad because he seemed like a good guy, but tell me what you think. Brave or shook, man. Peace. I'm out.